Welcome everybody back to another episode of Nintendo Rewind. I'll eventually get my We're live. We're live. Welcome back to the Nintendo Rewind. My name's Cody Christian, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Josh Taylor and Chris Becker this week. Welcome back for however long that you're able to be here, Chris. You're more than welcome to come and sit at the podcast hosting table as often as you can right now. I told him last week, I said, Chris might not be here for a little while. He's working on his own stuff right now. And now here you are making me a liar.
Yeah, no, I came just so I could do that. Yeah.
I had to show up in your chat today to make sure you weren't joking because I was unsure from the tone in the messages. I was like,
yeah.
"Are you really coming on the show tonight?" Or
I'll just have to show up, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
in case Josh falls asleep.
Yeah, God knows that man falls asleep at a dime. He's got that narcolepsy rolling up in here. That Nintendo narcolepsy. Oh man, how's everybody's week been? By the way, you guys been doing good?
Is she first? Yeah, I'm doing great. Never better. Just hanging out, living life. There's a Nintendo Direct. Of course, it was what the partner direct. Might as well make it a mini direct. Just put a bunch of slop on there and a couple of good things. But yeah, doing pretty good. I had some delicious fried chicken.
Ooh, from where?
From home. I made it.
That's the best way to do it. Like, I hate getting like takeout fried chicken because 9 times out of 10 that skin is not crispy enough. You cannot tell me they put enough crisp on them Chick-fil-A chimkins, Josh. There's not enough. It's like a crumble breading on it and a pickle brine. I don't know what they do.
I don't know what Chick-fil-A you go to.
What's the secret formula, Josh?
I can't tell you that. I have to kill everybody.
I understand. Man, Chef Chris, right? Isn't that right? Ms. Nerd in the live chat, Chef Chris. She's 1000% absolutely right when it comes to Chris right here. He's
the stream of cooking show.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stream myself cooking chicken.
But the thing is, we'll never see his face. It will only be his hands.
His hands.
Maybe occasionally. You know what I did hear, by the way, Chris? Like a couple of weeks ago, you were on stream and you had your whole face and everything on stream, and my wife told me that you only turned it on because I wasn't there.
Yeah, she said you weren't there, so I put it on.
Jerk.
Die around Cody.
One day we'll know what Chris looks like. I don't know. He's one of my best friends on the internet, and I barely know what he looks like.
Yeah, I mean, you see me right now. I'm on the screen.
Right there.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Him.
He is an animated character. We live in Space Jam land. Like, it's absolutely true. Oh,
I'm hanging out in the worst 3D Mario game.
you shut your. You know, there's a ROM hack for that right now. That's called Super Mario Eclipse. That is like one of the most crazy mods I've ever seen. Like a ROM hack for any Mario game. It's like a full like 3D platformer Mario game. It's sick. It's absolutely amazing. And even if you want to insult Super Mario Sunshine, you know what? In everyone's heart of hearts, they know that it's the best Mario game. They just don't want to admit it.
Oh no,
it's good, but it's got some flaws.
It's the best 3D Mario game next to Odyssey.
With them blue coins.
Let's dial it back a little. But I will say when I did get it, first I imported it because I had I had a GameCube back in the day when you could get a Switch in the back and you could switch it to Japanese and switch it back to.
Oh, yeah. See, here I was thinking you were talking about a Nintendo Switch embedded into the back of the GameCube, which I've seen those turn them into a dock, and that's just blasphemy.
Yeah, no. So I imported it because it came out like 3 weeks. Oh, no, I imported Resident Evil 1, the remake, because it came out 3 weeks ahead of time. And then when I got Mario, I got it like 9:30 at night because the manager drove to the airport and picked it up from it got off the plane, and he came back and gave them to us and got it that way. So we didn't want to have to wait till the morning. So we went. I got home, got ready. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to play it. And I was like, you know what? I'd rather be sleeping. So I went to bed. That game sucks.
Oh, man. Well, listen, I want to hear, after all of this blasphemy against the games I love, I want to hear how was Josh's week. What'd you do, dude?
I mean, pretty much my normal stuff. Yesterday, I worked both jobs, like 14, 15 hours, work today. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been that bad of a week, though. We had our little direct thing, which, I'm more the first party guy here. I guess that's kind of what I've been to Nintendo for mostly, but there's some pretty interesting stuff
You heard it here first,
about.
Folks. Josh hates indies.
Yes, I hate indies. Support your big company. No. No, speaking of big companies, no.
Oh, no.
Actually, the thing I got most excited about today was the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie trailer. And I know nobody else cares, or at least nobody here cares. But I had like chill bumps. Like, you had to be there for Sonic Adventure 2 Battle in those days with like me and my friends and everybody that was into it. That was the stuff. And like, I still listen to some of that music. Like, it was so cool to see some of that. Like, I know it's not Sonic Adventure 2, the movie, but it was still cool. And I've gotten kind of attached to the movie world at this point anyway, so it's fine. But no, it looks awesome. I love Shadow anyway.
Have they done
well.
Metal Sonic in the movies? Yeah, I've watched both of them, but I can't remember. It's been a little bit since I've seen the second one. No?
Nope.
That's who they should have went with for this one. Like, just postpone Shadow for number 4.
He's popular. I know why they did it, but I mean, they did do him kind of early. Like, they skipped all kinds of stories they could have done, but it's fine. I guess one weird thing is, like, they don't have some of the characters. Like, Rouge and Amy are just nowhere to be seen.
Well, you know why. It'd bring too much sex appeal
maybe
to
for
the
Rouge.
screen.
But, I mean, there's none of the female characters at all. Like, they're just all gone.
It is interesting.
So that's kind of weird, but still, looks super cool. Shadow looks awesome.
No, I watched that trailer like 3 times today, and I'm not even like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the movies. I couldn't remember if Metal Sonic had been in the second one. I watched both of them, but I've seen the second one like in bits and pieces because my kiddos started it, and so I've walked in while he's watching it. So I'm pretty sure I've seen the entirety of the second one. I watched the first one in its entirety from start to finish at least, but like. This third one, like, it looked really cool. Like, it looked like everything I wish Dragon Ball Z would do in the movies. Like, it was so cool seeing, like, Shadow do the teleport moves and everything. It was sick.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not here to sit here and talk about that whole trilogy and the shows and all, or the show and all that, but I mostly like it. It's fun. It's been fun with Lily. I always go and see them with her, so that's really cool. But, some of the people and stuff in it are a little silly. Like, maybe it's a little too goofy at times, but other than that, it's fun.
I mean, it's no worse than Sonic 06, so it's
that's got its own issues. Which part of that game I actually do like. I love how Shadow is characterized in that game. That's a really solid point.
Absolutely.
Game
absolutely
itself has its issues.
No, I understand. I don't know, like, that trailer looked really cool. Keanu playing Shadow, and it finally being officially confirmed that it's Keanu's voice.
Right.
Like, that's cool. Like, the art style for what I feel like they have taken a step up in, like, the way Sonic and Tails look and Knuckles in each iteration of these movies. Like, their graphics department has improved, so like, it looks cool. Like, I'm totally down for it. Like, I think it's gonna be neat. But man, like, that whole Shadow fight with Sonic in the city, just like, it's so cool looking. It's cool looking.
I got the part that about broke me was with the live and learn motif. That was like motif. Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
That was like playing in the background. You could hear it. Like, it plays in the teaser, but it got to play a little bit longer this time.
This man gonna be crying grown man tears right in the middle of the theater.
I'm too tired right now. I'm trying to keep it cool. But yeah, earlier I was stoked.
I'm just waiting for Escape from the City to play finally. Like, it'd just be cool. That'd be cool.
I already told my daughter if that song starts playing in the middle of the movie, I'm gonna embarrass her in the theater.
Oh man, no, I've my past week's been filled with Fortnite. I've been playing a lot with Chris online because I've gotten super hardcore into Fortnite. You're asleep by the time I get on there. Like, we start at 11. And then we play
Yeah,
until about
I tried.
1.
Well, I'm either at work or asleep. Yes.
So we've been playing. Chris has been slowly carrying us through. Although I will say, every win we've gotten, I've been the last person alive, but I'm also the first person to ditch people in the storm. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm the worst.
Yeah.
You know, I criticized. I'm sorry.
The star of the group.
I criticized everybody for playing Fortnite, and now here I am, and like I'm full on addiction mode. Like, it's just been cool getting the Marvel
play
stuff.
with the right people. Yeah, I'd play.
Yeah.
I
You
would-
can fall off when the season's over.
That's probably what's going to happen. I'm going to invest like $40 into TMNT and Spider-Man skins, and then be like, all right, I'm done. But-
Using code Super Nintendo.
Yeah, there we go. Use code Super Nintendo. It's not. That's a promotion. That's a promotion right here. Everybody get your
Hashtag ad.
support your support your local Super Nintendo daddy. But I've been playing that. Yesterday, I had a friend send me a link for Super Mario and the Rainbow Stars, which is like a fan game. It's not a ROM hack. And Chris, you better let me finish. But it's not a ROM hack. It is built in the SMB X2 engine or something like that. And so it's its own thing. And you can download it. The demo's very meaty. Like, I really enjoyed like playing. I played for 3 hours yesterday and still had not beaten the demo yet. So it's lengthy. Pixel art's beautiful. Their music choices are really good. Like, I love the way that Mario feels when he's running and jumping. And he's doing like he can do like the Super Mario Odyssey dive in midair too, which is really, really cool on a 2D platform. Like, it's super cool. The one thing that I do criticize it most for is the levels are a little bit on the longer side. But I think that just kind of adds to the amazingness that it is, because it is enjoyable, but sometimes some of the gimmicks get a little old before you finish up the level. And then I also don't really love the way the wall jumping feels. Like, you have to get it just right with the amount of magnetism that Mario has for the wall when he's doing a wall jump going left to right. And there's just not enough grip to the wall when Mario jumps on a wall. You really have to be intentional pressing up against that wall to get a wall kick going. But those are the couple things. And then I dealt with Chris down there, just like absolutely telling me that it's butthole, that it sucks. He hates it. He wishes it would be deleted forever. Why do you hate it, Chris? Explain to me.
I'll tell you what. Okay, I'd rather play Mario Sunshine. Okay, no. The one thing was real noticeable. You would see when you were in between levels, and let's say you go. Yeah, Mr. Nintendo's paying me. You go. You went to like go behind the one section of the wall, and the camera didn't pan up or let you see through the wall in any way, shape, or form. And so you couldn't tell if there was a platform there, and you kept falling into the water.
Skill issue.
That was not a skill issue. It was just blindly.
I'm fine with that. Like, I like a good blind leap. You learn from your mistakes. It doesn't have like a death system in the same sense that like you're gonna die and lose a whole ton of progress either. Like, I feel like the checkpoints are pretty fair.
Someone banned Netist.
no one banned Netist. Oh man, but I think the game was pretty. I had Emperor Gombessa. They were in the chat, and they I think they thought it looked good. I don't know. Maybe he's gonna correct me in the live chat here tonight. But overall, I was pretty happy with it. I would say it's free. It costs you nothing to go and check out. So go and download it while you still can. If Nintendo ninjas don't take him down, who knows? I don't think they will. SMBX has been up for years, and it's been distributed for free for years. I think Nintendo will most likely leave this alone unless they start to try to find a way to monetize it. But it looks good. It plays good. I'm totally fine with it. I'm totally down with it.
I like the animation.
Yeah, animations were cute.
Another thing I didn't like, I'll tell you what. When you get those, like the mushrooms, they basically just give you coins or points rather than power-ups.
Oh.
And then you got that little star.
Yeah,
it just felt more like a I guess because it felt more like a Yoshi game.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Yoshi's Island influence in this game too. So it is like you get a bunch of the enemies. They have the gusts. They have the flower enemies from Yoshi's Island. So I mean, there's a lot of Yoshi's Island influence in there, and I think that's where they went with it. But I will criticize it from that standpoint that I was in the game for 2 hours before I got my first real power up. That was on land. You get a frog suit, but you can't keep it after you leave water. And then there was a boss fight that I did that I finally got the fire flower. That was the first time, 2 hours in, first time I saw a fire flower the entire game. It was kind of crazy. I've not played a Mario game that was quite like that, where you didn't get some sort of power up. Even Mario Odyssey, I mean, you had the possessions, and that was kind of cool. But I dig it. I recommend it. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. Go check it out.
Because they were made well.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. That being said, we do have a little bit of a format change for tonight. You guys in the comments and in the live chat, let us know if you like how this is going. Down below, you can see we have a news ticker going on with all the other stuff that we would normally talk about, with My Nintendo Digital Physical Rewards news, in-game events, sales, and extra Nintendo news. So we can kind of focus the show a little bit more, especially when we have these longer topics, which is everything announced at the August 2024 Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase and the Indie World presentation as well. So we're going to be talking about that today. But before we do that, let's do our thank yous. I do want to say a real quick thank you to our supporters who are keeping the lights on here at Nintendo Rewind. We have 2 in the Rewinder tier, 1 in the supporter tier. Calamity Nolan, Sierra Christian, thank you guys so much for your monies, as well as Shiny Bird. Thank you for your support. What that means is you can sign up to directly support our content, guide what we're discussing, and get exclusive videos that won't be uploaded to our YouTube channel, plus merch discounts. There's even a tier that only costs $1 a month, and with it, you get a shout out on the show. That said, I want to thank our members so very much for supporting us and continuing to have us keep the lights on here at Nintendo Rewind. Now, without any further ado, let's dive into the main topic. We have a lot to talk about. Nintendo Direct happened today, and it was the Nintendo Partner Showcase and the Indie World presentation. Not in that necessary order, even though that was the order that they put on their thumbnail for what was happening. They did the Indie World presentation first, then they did the Direct Partner Showcase following right after. It was about 45 minutes long. They said 40 minutes. It was closer to 45. And I have mixed feelings on this one. I guess we could kind of get our feelings out of the way early on. And before I state my feelings, Josh, Chris, do you guys have anything you want to say about how you felt overall about the Direct?
I'm going to say very middle of the road, just to kind of spoil some of this, I guess. I don't know. A lot of it looks pretty cool. I'll say with the indies, I'm not always the best with trying them out. I hate that because I know there's some gems out there, and I've tried some really awesome ones that I'd never heard of before in the past. Money and time, I don't really always, I can't always invest a whole lot into them. So I apologize ahead of time if I seem uninterested in something that could be a gem. I'll just go ahead and say that because I'm sure there's some good stuff here.
Oh, no.
I just don't know well enough.
Shout out to Japanese role-playing games all in general.
Yes.
Oh man.
I'd make jokes about that a lot, but not all of them are good. Just most of them.
What about you, Chris? How'd you feel about it?
I think I liked the Indie World more than the Direct Partner Showcase. Yeah, there was some things that I liked about from the Indie World quite a bit that I'm looking forward to, but there's a couple of things that weren't there that I wish was.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. You have money riding on it though, and being in that in that fantasy league for game critics, don't you? So
yeah,
I understand.
Clark, this is not going well.
Oh no. Well, I felt very mixed leaving this presentation, and it's not so much that I try not to get overly hyped myself before these kinds of presentations. I'm not necessarily looking for the best of the best AAA titles to come out during these things. I know I set my expectations pretty low. And the one thing I will give it is that there really weren't a lot of farming simulators in this one. So like,
there wasn't this time.
So that's a plus all the way around.
Yes.
And there were some gems that did get me to pop off genuinely that I am excited for. But the problem that we have with Nintendo Switch in general is that we're in a time frame where remakes, remasters, and ports are kind of dominating what is happening in the game space on that console. And I understand it. It's end of life for the Nintendo Switch. We're still waiting for Nintendo Switch 2 or the successor to the Nintendo Switch or the Super Nintendo Switch to come out. But like, it's one of those things where there's still stuff out there that could wow us. I mean, Chris, one of the things that I've heard you talk about numerous times, Silksong. Everybody wants to see Silksong. It's a meme at this point. Everybody wants it. Yeah. And it exists. It's out there. Mina the Hollower. It exists. It's out there. Like there are demos for those things they could even throw out. But like Yacht Club's not really putting anything out there for Mina the Hollower. Team Cherry is definitely not putting anything for Silksong. You know what I genuinely think is that Silksong just got scrapped and we're going straight to Hollow Knight 2 at this point. Like I think that's what they were just like, you know what, screw it, we're going Hollow Knight 2, and then they started over like they did with Metroid Prime 4. But like, it was just a very middle of the road direct. And that's even for me saying, like, I set my bar pretty low for what we were going to be seeing today. So I put up an article over on our website, NintendoRewind.com. You can see all the game trailers and everything for the latest Nintendo Direct. But we're going to kind of go through these games little by little, one by one, as we dive into this. If anybody has anything they want to say about it, like, feel free. Again, it's meaty. There's a lot of titles here. There's close to 40 titles, but like, it's at the same time, there's not a whole lot here exactly to talk about, but I do want to talk about the things that made us pop off. So, starting off the direct today, we had Balatro, Friends of Jimbo.
Yes, indeed we did.
Balatro, Friends of Jimbo. How you feeling about Friends of Jimbo, friend?
I'll tell you what. I like the idea that they're adding like different themes and things like that in this game. I probably will, since it's a free download. I updated it. I just haven't gotten around to playing it. I mean, Vampire Survivors, hello.
I did love Vampire Survivors. That game was good. And it's Vampire Survivors Joker cards that are getting added in general, isn't it? Like, I don't understand how Balatro works because I never played it, but I heard good things about it, but I just never played it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a roguelite, and you can get different Jokers and then put them in your deck and then play and try and get high scores. So, yeah, I'm looking for. I'll definitely be playing it. Especially, the Switch. You can just sit there and play it with the touch screen. But then, I don't know.
I mean, that's true. Like, you can. The thing is that if you have the game, it's a free update. Like, there's nothing you should complain about with that. Like, it's awesome that you got something for free, right? Like, that's cool. I am totally A-okay with getting free stuff and having extensions on a game, but like, it just didn't. That was a slow start to a long direct, and I was like, oh, if this is what they're like headlining this with, oh man. So I don't know. The next thing though that they teased, this did get me hyped. This was Sea of Stars Throes of the Watchmaker DLC. It's a free DLC story update for Sea of Stars coming in spring of 2025. This game is one of my favorite games. I've talked about it a lot in the past. It's one of my favorite indies. It is my favorite indie on the Nintendo Switch. It's one of my favorite indies of all time. I love the storyline. I love the characters. I love what they did with combat. I love the way that they have this game structured and set up. I would love if this video would go full screen, but apparently it's not going to. So you guys have to look at it on a small. Oh, okay, there we go. So you guys have to look at it on a bigger screen now. But game looks cool. Like, I'm hoping, and it looks like you've got a new member on the in the party. as far as that goes too. So you're going to get some different moves, some different abilities. I think the Watchmaker was one of the most intriguing characters in this game because they didn't really want to talk to you until you pretty much beat it. And then after you beat the game, you could go in and challenge them to a game of Wheels, which is like the bonus game built within the game. That's like a strategy tower defense style tabletop board game.
Add that to Balatro.
Yes, please do. That would be freaking cool. I'd be totally down. But overall, like, I'm just excited that this is yet another free thing, kind of in that same topic as what we talked about with Balatro. Something very interesting. It looks like we're going to be able to suplex Ghost Train, a la Final Fantasy. But that's coming out spring 2025, and I will be absolutely downloading that and playing that on stream almost immediately. The next thing.
What about?
Yes.
So, do you think we will get a Sea of Stars 2?
I don't think so. And part of the reason that I think that we won't be seeing Sea of Stars 2, Sabotage likes to innovate and do something different, but within that same world that they're building, like they did The Messenger, and Sea of Stars is a prequel to The Messenger. The Messenger is a totally different style of game. It's a side-scrolling platformer inspired by like Ninja Gaiden. I don't expect to see that. And reason number two, beyond them wanting to do something different with each iteration, reason number two is because they're working on a co-op DLC for this that's supposed to be out. It was supposed to be fall this year. I don't know if that's still on target for that. But I don't expect them to work on anything still yet within that same era. What I do see, because the Messenger was very clearly inspired by NES, and Sea of Stars was clearly inspired by SNES. I could totally see them doing an N64 inspired game next. Is what I would expect.
I hope not.
And the thing, so if they do an N64 inspired game, because I don't want to give away too much about Sea of Stars,
Nope.
but it's been out for a year.
I've been slowly in the middle of that game.
There is a little twist, and that's all I'm gonna say. There's a little twist, and it's only for a moment. It's a flash in the pan. You won't see anything. It's a flash in the pan. And that's why I think they would lean toward like 3D graphics. From that alone, but couple that with the fact that my question is if they do move on to something else, what genre would it be? What defined the N64 more than anything? Was it? I mean, is it 3D platformers at that point? Do they do a 3D platformer game? I hope
Pro
not.
Wrestling, I hope.
Oh my gosh, yes, there we go.
Why would you hope not?
Best games for the N64.
Oh man,
I like 3D platformers.
I do too. I think we could see that from them, and that's just kind of based on their trends. But I mean, Sabotage, they've only done 2 games that you can really like think of a name. Like it's not really, the jury's still out on what they do next, but I think they like emulating that nostalgia and upgrading on what they're doing. So I think that'd be interesting. Moth Cubit was up next, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Moth Cubit. This game looks cool and all, but it's just, I don't know. No feelings?
Looks like a game I'll add to my wish list and never get unless they send me a code.
Yeah, I could see that. I could absolutely see that. Like, you play as this little moth that's in like this corporate environment, and you're trying to keep this building of moths and other bugs working, and you're sending something as far as that goes, and discovering that people are trying to take down their corporation, I guess. I don't really know. It has a cool art style, but it's just not sometimes talked about.
If it's got an idle feature in the game, then I'll probably check it out.
When you say that, what would you want out of the idle feature? What would you want?
Just the workers working and then producing something.
That'd be cool. That
like
would
right
be
there,
cool.
just. But yeah, I mean, something about getting small and then big I just
Minish cap.
I kind of like the way it looks, but also kind of hate the way it looks at the same time.
It's a little cheap, isn't it? Like I don't want to criticize too much, but it does have a little bit of a cheap look to it. The pixel art isn't super fleshed out, and some games that works for this game, I don't think it did too much. It's just my personal takeaway. I'm gonna on F11 this. Maybe that's what's causing the videos to not go full screen. Then that is out next spring, 2025. Then we had from the devs behind Gris, Neva. Now this game really, really, really looked pretty. I thought it looked pretty. I've heard nothing but good things about Gris. I've never played Gris. It's on my list. This game looked pretty though, and that's really all I have to say about it. It looked pretty. I think I was busy typing when they were showing the teaser for this too, because I was too stoked about the Sea of Stars DLC.
Yeah, this one. Go ahead, Josh. What were you saying?
All right, I was gonna say I was literally, I guess, working while I was watching some of this. I was really struggling to tell almost what you're playing as.
I think you play as this woman and the wolf, right? Like you control both.
Yeah, that's kind of at least what I picked up on. I was like, oh, the wolf looks actually pretty interesting, something a little different. I don't feel like that's tackled a whole lot. I think a Twilight Princess, I guess, but I don't feel like you play as like a dog or a wolf or something all that often.
No.
But no, it looks really pretty. Yeah, I guess the only thing that I was maybe slightly concerned about is sometimes like the art styles like that are a little hard for me to look at for like 20 hours straight. I feel like it kind of just like, okay, I'm kind of over it at this point. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I get it,
but no, it does look pretty. I'm fairly interested in this one. I don't know what much else to say. I can't really tell. I can't really get a good handle on what it is. I thought a little bit of I can't think of the name of it now. Oh gosh, I should have beat the second one, but I never did. Crap, I can't think of it. It came from Xbox, and it's on Switch now. There's two of them.
World of Goo.
Shoot. No.
Ori.
Oh yeah, Ori in the Blind Forest. Yeah.
I thought a little bit of Ori for some reason.
Yeah, I could see that. It has that atmospheric fantasy, very stark contrast between foreground, background, 2D platforming kind of stuff.
Definitely one I'll keep an eye on, at least. We'll see how it turns out.
It's up there. I thought it was pretty.
It it looks. I got a few issues with the game. The one issue is I counterpicked this in my league. It's really going to screw me because it's going to come out and get like an 86. And because I thought it wasn't going to come out this year. That's why I picked it. But the Gris game or whatever, Gris.
Yeah, Gris.
It was like, I don't know, like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And then after I beat it, I have no desire to ever play that game again.
That's what Nedist is saying in the live chat too. Is it was fun to play once. It was fun to play once.
Yeah. But I mean, it looks good. The problem is, I'm worried that either you or the dog's gonna die at the end. So I don't know about.
I can see it happening. I could absolutely see it happening. They never give you a companion to not get attached to them. Like, that's kind of the whole point most of the time with those games. They want to pull on the
heartstrings. Child of Light too, and there's some sad parts.
I love Child of Light. That game was good on the Wii U.
It is a good game.
It was good on the Wii U. It was bad on the Switch because you didn't have the partner that you could properly do quite the same way. Where like you used the touchscreen on the Wii U version of that game, and you would hold the enemies. It was really fun to do that way.
I think you can do that with like a pointer.
You can. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's bad. But
it's no Zombie U,
No, that's right. That's right. That releases October 15th. Get excited. It's going up against a lot of hard to fight against games too, I feel like, in some ways. Like there's a lot of stuff coming out during that month just in general.
But I feel like when else can you release it? There's a lot of stuff coming out everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Zelda on the next month. So, I mean, and this month it's Plucky Squire this upcoming month. I think that's the big game this month, so.
What, in September?
Yeah, Plucky Squire.
Yeah, Plucky Squire and Zelda, right? And then...
Zelda's November, isn't it?
Mickey.
Zelda is September 27th.
Yeah.
What was that? What's in November? Oh, that's Super Mario Jamboree. Super Mario Party Jamboree.
That's in October.
Mario and Luigi.
Mario and Luigi's in November.
My God, I'll eventually get all my dates right. We host a Nintendo talk show, and I don't know how to talk about Nintendo.
Please get it right, please.
No, I refuse. Then expected to release in 2025 is a sequel to Coffee Talk. Coffee Talk Tokyo. Yeah, I'm just gonna fast forward this trailer just a little bit because there's a lot of talking from the devs, and I'm sure they've been hard at work. I know they have been.
Yeah.
Pixel art in this is really good. I love the way that it looks. I like the idea of being a barista and working in a coffee shop. I don't like the idea of gamifying that, and I just don't like. I don't know. It's just meh. I'm ready to move on to the next game if everybody else is.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Josh, show the game. Your game of the show, and you're gonna skip it.
Well, all right. Hang on. Let me go back to it. Tell us about it, Chris. But no. Then that is in 2025. This game of the show though, Power Wash Simulator Shrek Special Pack.
I've never played these games. I heard they're kind of fun.
Oh,
it is kind of hilarious.
They're
to me
like
that it's
monotonous awesomeness. Like it is. You go and you power wash stuff. Like that is fun. It's fun to do in real life. It's fun to do in a virtual landscape.
Maybe I have to play it to understand it.
Some people
really
like
get
it.
it.
Some people hate it.
I only hate using a controller when I'm playing it. Like it cramps my wrists so badly. Like it hurts to play with a controller. But with mouse and keyboard, it's not too bad.
Interesting.
No one has anything else to say. You can go clean up Shrek's swamp, and he's not going to be there to tell you to get out of his swamp. You know, he's not going to be doing it. I don't know why I went almost New Yorker accent. Hey, get out of my swamp! But it's coming soon, not too far away, out this fall. And then here's okay. I know Chris is going to have something to say about this. This was my favorite announcement out of the entire everything. Like between the main Nintendo Direct and the Indie World Showcase, it's this. And this game's called Morsels. It's from Furcula and Annapurna Interactive. This game looks so freaking cool. It comes out February 2025. It kind of gives me like Binding of Isaac, Nobody Saves the World vibes. I love the artwork and the art style. It's so just weird and disgusting, but at the same time very cute and creepy. Like it looks like you have this upgrade path for your creatures, so you get transformations that you do from like decks of cards that are in this game. Like it is super, super intriguing, and I know roguelike has been thrown around so much and it's overdeveloped and people get super pissed off when there's another roguelike game coming out. But like this game looks cool. It looks cool. It has style. It has grace. This Kong's one heck of a guy. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like I like it, but I can see how this might not be for everybody. Especially from like the art style kind of side of things, but Chris,
style looks pretty cool.
You mentioned you were down for this, and you knew some history about this game I didn't realize.
Yeah, this is my favorite game of the show. Just because I think it looks like the artist is the same one from Nidhogg 2 and Atomicrops.
Your favorite Nintendo Switch game? Shout out to him.
Shout out to Atomicrops. Love Atomicrops.
Mm-hmm.
I played probably 100 hours between. I have it on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and Steam. But yeah, so I got just like looking at it, it kind of like almost reminds me of Atomicrops mixed with Nobody Saves the World.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the cards that you get kind of look like the different powers that you would get using the wand.
It was like the upgrade path you could do in Nobody Saves the World, where you slowly unlock different characters and they all have different abilities.
Yeah, and they can work together to do different things. So I'm looking forward to see what they do with it and what happens. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing this game, and I cannot wait.
I love this one.
February, I believe.
Yep, February 2025. So that kind of sucks. But you know, I can wait till February. I mean, and by that point, maybe we'll have our Switch 2s. Just kidding. Copium. Let's up that copium. I don't know. Nettis in the live chat here saying this one would be cool if it was a video game instead of a roguelike, and I want to understand. Yeah. I want to understand your takeaway on that, because that's another one of those insults that I don't know if I necessarily agree with.
I get what he's saying.
Roguelikes are video games. They are video games. They are the essence of the arcade generation era. Like it is what it is.
Character designs and stuff here, but yeah. No, I'd just rather have like well-designed levels instead of just like random stuff. Well, I don't know. I say that, but I like Hades, so I don't know.
I also love some Hades. I love Binding of Isaac, but there's no saying, because sometimes you do enter into these things where like roguelikes do have like, there is an opportunity to have well-designed levels in those, to where, the roguelike portion of it is that you might get a well-designed level in a different order than what you would. So, like, it's not necessarily the only thing that it ever is. Like, it is so much more than that. It's your randomness on your upgrades. You might not be able to make a full run out of it, or what have you. Like, those are the things that, to me, make it more like a roguelike. Especially in the modern definition of that, of a rogue game. But
Super Mario's a roguelike. So,
yeah. No, it's not. But it should be. But I don't know.
If you only have one life, it's a roguelike.
It's permadeath. Permadeath roguelike. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Game over. Go straight to beginning. Do not pass go.
You got to do it all over again. Yeah. Nothing. You don't get anything in between rounds. You know. You just get your memory.
Mm-hmm. Then we get to Josh's favorite game out of the entire thing. This is Date Everything. It is a romance simulator
zoned out during this.
where you can date everything from a cabinet to a table lamp to even your own existential dread. I don't know how to feel about this game in a lot of ways.
I worry about humanity.
It's
next game.
Next game. Oh man. But this game looks bad, but text box can get it, says Nettis in live chat. There's Doug, your existential dread. But I don't know.
Doug.
It's gonna be played for funniness. Like that's pretty much the whole reason. Unless you are one of those who are a cabinet sexual. I don't know. Like it could be one of those things. But I don't really have a whole lot to say on that one. Do you, Chris?
Nothing to say about this.
Okay, we're gonna move on to Peglin. Peglin, I've had a lot of people tell me I need to play this game. I have yet to play it. As soon as I saw the gameplay, I was like, "Oh, that's Peggle." That is straight up Peggle. So pachinko inspired is what they called it. I like the abilities that you can get. I like all that jazz. I like the fact that there's a combat mechanic to this, based on how many of these things that you do. But I just I don't really know. Toilet is looking extra thick, Emperor Gambessa. Toilet is back to date everything. But I'm mixed on this game because I've had enough people tell me that it's good, but it just does not, like, it doesn't fit in what I would consider necessarily my style of game, what I would choose to play. And
another roguelike.
Oh, it is a roguelike. Well, never mind. I take it back. It's exactly my style of game. Oh, man. I don't know. Chris played the demo for this.
Yeah, I played the demo. It's not on the eShop, but it is on Steam. Yeah, I liked it. I was thinking about getting it. I because it just came out of early access today too. Mm-hmm. So it was in early access and came out. It's what, $19.99.
Yeah, it's $19.99. Launched today on the eShop. Go get your game.
Go get it. Grab it. Give me a copy too. But yeah, I have been thinking about getting it for a while, and I just haven't. But I think it's on my list. It's like one of those, like, on my list if it goes down, you know.
Yeah, I hate to do that, to say that out loud with indie developers working really hard on their craft and everything like that. But like, it's just not my style of game, and I think you have to be the right kind of person for this game. in order to truly love it and want to spend the $19.99 on it. You know, that's $20. I'm not saying it's not worth it. That's just a little bit on the steep side for this kind of game for me.
Being unsure about it.
Yeah. So you can go get it though.
If the demo was on the Switch and I could play it again, I might consider going back.
Mm-hmm. I don't think any of us have anything to say about the next game. It's Wobbly Life. Welcome to Wobbly Island. It's from did you say it's from the Stumble Guys? Or it just looked like Stumble Guys?
It just looks like Stumble Guys.
Yeah, but it's like Goat Simulator meets Stumble Guys, which the foreshadowing. There's Kong from the infamous Kong video game that came out 2 years ago.
Specifically that Kong.
It's Danky King. It looks fine. There's just nothing super special here.
Games like this remind me of growing up as a kid and 3 o'clock in the morning, like the preacher would come on the TV and just start talking. And it would be like 4 o'clock in the morning, he's selling Bibles. And I would be like, this is how I know I'm bored. This is on. And I just was like, I need to go.
This is a very specific feeling. Kind of understand it
though. What preacher hurt you, Chris?
Yeah. That's another podcast.
Oh, no.
But yeah.
Miss Chloe.
Oh, man. Pico Park 2.
Pico Park 2, 8-player.
The game looks like, Josh, I think you mentioned before the show, and I 100% agree with you. Yeah, it's Box Boy, Box Girl. It straight up looks like Box Boy, Box Girl. Yeah. But like 8 players.
Very simplistic, but I could see it being fun.
It would be a fun party game. The problem is I also have to have 7 friends, and currently I can only count 2 friends, and they're in this room right now with me. Like it's you and Chris.
I heard. Yep, that's the problem. I mean, you can play with just 2. Like, you know, that could be a good like co-op game or something.
I don't know.
I don't know if you get the same experience, the full experience out of just 2 or 3.
Right.
Some of these puzzles I'm looking at, and I'm like, that just looks like it would be annoying to deal with.
In a party game environment, I would be more fine with that. I want it to be a little more annoying in a party game environment. But in a like, let's sit down and try to co-op our way through this game and actually beat it environment. No, thank you. That's hilarious. That's just funny.
Yeah, see, that's fun in a group.
That's also funny right there. That's hilarious. Right. But I don't know. Pico Park 2 came out today. You can go get it. I think it's on sale for $8.09. Regularly is going to be $8.99. But I don't know. Box Boy, Box Girl is probably a much better experience for a co-op puzzle game like that, in my opinion. And it's got a little more polish. Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope. Josh, take it away. Tell the people about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all at least like Shovel Knight to some extent. I mean, it was definitely one I loved. It was one of the first games that really got me into indies because I was kind of late to that side of things, I guess. But on the Wii U, and I picked it up pretty early and fell in love with it. And I've got the Treasure Trove, of course, on the Switch. We kind of mentioned this before. It kind of looks like it is just Shovel of Hope, like just the Shovel Knight campaign.
Mm-hmm.
But you can play as like all the different characters through that version of the campaign. Which I guess is fine.
But then when we were asking Chris, didn't you say like it comes with everything, like Spectre of Torment and everything else too?
Oh yeah, it comes with all that too, yeah.
Which is weird naming convention. Like, why did they not just call it Treasure Trove DX or something? Like, they instead of just...
I know, that's what seems confusing about it, yeah.
Because I was confused. I asked about it. I was like, is this just Shovel of Hope?
Well,
if there's info out there, I haven't dug into it enough, but it looks like you can at least play as a lot of the characters that they had playable in like the fighting game if you've played it, where they updated the Treasure Trove with that. So that's kind of neat. You can go back through and play around with all of those characters, and of course, co-op's still there. Looks like the arena's still there and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the reason they came out with like that version of the game when the Switch first launched is because you couldn't have a port of an old game if you wanted to be out on the Switch in the first I think it was like 6 or 9 months. And so they were like, okay, they just made a very specific version for the Switch, and then now they have this one that has like, well, they had other ones that had all the DLC too, but yeah, this is this one. I think this one also might have commentary too, like a commentary track that you get while you're playing it too.
That's exciting. Like I like the look of this, and I'm totally fine with it. The thing that I'm most excited about is the addition of online co-op. Like that is going to be really cool, because then I can play it with you guys. Like it's one of those things where like you had co-op if you scanned an amiibo on the Treasure Trove version, it could be like local. But like, or no, wait, you didn't have to scan the amiibo anymore. That was for the Wii U version of it.
Yeah, on the Wii U, yeah.
And then, but you could initiate local co-op, but the online co-op is the new part of that. And like, I'm excited about that. Plus all the other like modifiers and cheat codes and everything. I hadn't played that game. Like I had owned it,
to play it again,
several different ways, but I hadn't played that game until like a year and a half ago when I was like, I'm just going to speed run it. And so I speed ran Shovel of Hope without looking up any like strats or anything. I placed top 100 in my time, which was hilarious that I did that good for not knowing anything really about the game, just like moving quickly. And then I fell in love with the game after that. Loved everything about it. Played everything from start to finish. Really paid attention to the story on my second and third playthroughs. Like that game's good. It's good, and I'm excited for it.
Corman's probably my favorite with the story and everything.
I think that's 90% of people's favorite. Like it's super cool.
Yeah, probably is. It's worth it.
Can we get into Europa? There's a demo available for this, or is there's a new demo that is coming out? One of the two. I should have gotten my information right. And Europa looks beautiful. It reminds me of Studio Ghibli. Like it is like Laputa Castle in the Sky, Caligostro. Like there's a lot of really cool imagery and elements that are in this. I really worry that game is not going to perform to the level that people are going to want it to perform on the Switch. It is one of those things where this is not the Zelda team, and I think it's going to have a hard time keeping up. The Nintendo Switch itself is going to have a hard time keeping up with this game. But jury's still out. I haven't played the demo. Maybe I should play the demo before I jump to conclusions. Not me jumping to conclusions, but you know, hey, we'll get it figured out.
Get to jump to conclusions, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you guys feel about this one? Any feelings whatsoever?
I enjoyed the demo. I'm getting a code when it comes out, so I'll be playing it, and I'll let you know what I think of it when it comes out.
That's all I can ask for.
Embargo.
That's all I can ask for. You can let me know before. You just can't write it down or publish it anywhere. Yeah. Cuisenaire, January 28th, 2025. Chris, you got feelings on this one. I know you do. You said you wanted to talk about this one before we got on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this one's already out on Steam. It's out in early access. And, yeah, like I said before the show, it reminds me of... if you're a fan of, like, Moonlighter or the Dave the Diver, this is like that, where you go through the dungeon, you might like kill these like plant creatures, and then they'll drop like hot peppers, and then you can use them to cook meals, and then you gotta help your customers when they come in and cook food for them.
The more I see of this, is a lot more even reminds me of cute Cult of the Lamb, like not dark and demented Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah, without sacrificing.
Yeah, you don't sacrifice your customers. You actually save them.
Town folk, yeah.
Don't make them eat poop. You make them eat good food in your kitchen.
Yeah.
First roll at Chick-fil-A when I got hot. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, man.
Those sacrifices.
That's why they're not as crispy.
Yeah, that's the point. Out January 28th. It looks cool. I don't know that I'll be picking it up day one, and I definitely haven't played it on Steam, but like it does look cool. On Your Tail, this game was revealed like a couple of presentations ago. It comes out November 21st. Not my kind of game.
I played the demo, Steam Nexus demo. It's not really my kind of game either, but it's like a bunch of different kind of games together. I mean,
Yeah, it was the thing that bothered me when they did the original tease is like I couldn't really put it into any kind of box. It was a little bit of everything. And that almost, in my opinion, kind of makes it suffer a little bit because when you're doing too much, like the things that you're doing can sometimes not be good enough to be considered something that you really want to invest in. I think the art style is really good. I think they did a really good job with the graphical style on the game, but like it's just not, I don't know.
It looks like this might be. It looks like a game. This is not going to be. It's not going to remind me of the priest that selling the Bibles at 4 a.m. But this one looks like the type of game that I would like watch someone play on Twitch while I play a different game.
Yeah,
like, it's that kind of game.
Yeah, I'm not going to be invested in it, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Next game on the list, really excited for. I think Josh, you mentioned you were pretty stoked about this one, Metal Slug Tactics.
Yeah, it definitely looks pretty cool. I'm hit and miss, I guess, on some tactics games, but I mean, obviously, I'm into the Mario and Rabbids ones, if that counts.
That counts.
You know, I've played a few Fire Emblems and things like that. Metal Slug's always cool, so yeah. I mean, I'll keep my eye on this one. I don't know what all to say about it extra, really, other than I think it looks like a pretty cool concept. I'm willing to check it out.
I feel like I was still working at GameStop when they announced this, like 2 years ago. Like it feels like it's been that long since the announcement of this game, and I don't know many people that are out there outcrying for Metal Slug Tactics, so it didn't fall into the same meme status as like Silk Song does, but it is one of those games where I was beginning to think, oh, it may not be coming.
Yeah.
So.
But then you got like .emu or whatever, and they've done a good job with some of the games they've done.
They have.
Or worked on.
They really have.
But yeah, another game I played the demo of, enjoyed it.
And you can check that out other places. Or did they add that demo to Switch yet?
It was a Steam Next Fest.
Yeah.
And then it went away. But yeah.
Pizza Tower was the last thing they closed the indie world with, and I played this game on Steam like way back when it launched. I was too excited to wait for it to come to Switch, and this, you know, for the longest time when they were just promoting Anton Blast, I did not think this one was coming to Nintendo Switch. I thought they were just going to stick with Anton Blast and not welcome this game onto the platform. But no, like this game was really good. Courtney bought it for me for my birthday, and I ended up streaming it nonstop over 2 streams, 100%ing it, like had a really good time with it. The movement system is really good. I like the art style. I like the bosses. I like the throwbacks to some of the old school pizza culture too, like with the Noid, but he's called the Noise in this game, and I think that's hilarious.
Noid is in this, or sort of the Noid.
Yeah, cool. He's like off-brand Noid, but I love the cutscene interstitials that they did in there. Just like everything about it's really cool. But I felt like I was on an acid trip 90% of the time I was playing this game because it was just moving at such a fast pace. But I mean, it's an homage and a love letter to the Wario Land franchise, a lot like what Anton Blast is. I like it. Many people should check this out. I think it's good. I think it is absolutely worth the, what is it, $20 that it's launched at? Yeah, the $19.99 that it launched at today, but you guys should absolutely check it out. Pizza Time in the live chat. Absolutely, for God bless it. They know what they're talking about. Like,
if I didn't have Epic Mickey and Zelda coming out in September, this would probably have gotten picked up today.
I don't blame you.
So yeah, it looks really cool to me, and I keep going back and forth on the art style. If it's like just too much, or if it's kind of awesome.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's awesome because it's a lot.
I think the one thing I was a little bit worried about, and I don't need it to be a 1-to-1 to Wario Land. I like that series a lot, and I miss it. It needs to come back. But the one thing I was a little bit concerned about is it too chaotic? Like, can you ever stop and explore, or are you just automatically running constantly?
Most of the game is a lot like Wario Land, where you have the first half of the level is exploration and trying to get your partners that you're looking for. Instead of like jewels and treasure, you're looking for pizza toppings throughout it. And you're building up combo meter based on your speed and your enemies that you take out. The ending portion,
can walk and you can jump around.
Yeah, the ending portion of it, the other half of the level though, is the escape. sequence,
escape,
and you do need to run. Like you can't, like you can screw up a little bit here and there, but you get graded based on how fast you make it out before the big tiki head looking face guy gets you on the escape.
Some of the
sequences.
animations make me think of the CDI games.
Yeah, I could see that. I can absolutely see that. So,
what's that one that came out recent?
Zet and the Jewel of Faramore, which is very cool. It's like, that's another game that's a love letter to another Nintendo franchise. You know, the Philips CDI Zelda games. So, but I don't know. I really liked this game, and I would recommend it. This is one of those that it is worth the $20 to spend on it if you're a fan of Wario Land and platformers with a good like movement combo system. So, and
this is getting a physical edition in 2025 there's a special edition from
Limited Run, right?
No, from Fangamer, and it's
it is Fangamer.
Yeah, I know.
Collector's edition comes with a Pepino. Whatchamacallit? Let's look at
timer. It's like a food timer.
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here.
There it is. Yeah.
It looks cool. It's a big box. The Pepino timer is funny to me. Like it's such a funny pack-in. Do they have a price point on that one? It's got a Fangamer. No, they don't have a price point on the
I don't
physical.
think so. Yeah, it's coming in next year. I don't know, but yeah, it's exciting when it's just like the idea of games like that coming on like a little cartridge.
Mm-hmm. That's it for the Indie World half of this.
Indie World, yeah.
And overall, like looking at this and breaking down each of these games and each DLC, whether it's free or paid or what have you, that was on here, honestly, like the Indie World, I would rate that probably like a B minus, maybe a standard B is where I would give that. It's not an A or an S, but it is in a B tier for me. How do you guys feel about the Indie World half of the game, half of the presentations?
Probably about the same. I mean, a lot of it's not necessarily for me, but I feel like they did have a decent variety there.
Yeah.
A lot of things that I was like, if I had the time or the money, I wouldn't mind trying that out.
Right. If I had infinite money, the instant pickups for me on this list, obviously Sea of Stars free. Sea of Stars Throws of the Watchmaker. That'd be one. I'd probably pick up Neva. Definitely be picking up Morsels. 100% be picking up Shovel of Hope DX. Metal Slug Tactics, and I'd rebuy Pizza Tower again. Like, out of the, 12, 13 games there, like 5 of them I would be picking up instantly if money was not an issue.
That's not bad.
No. So, I think it was overall, it's a B minus because the low points of the show were extremely low points in my opinion, but like, this is where I'm at. So, and then we move into the next half of the showcase, and this was the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. And they opened with Tetris Forever and NES Tetris coming to Nintendo Switch Online. Tetris Forever, I gotta be honest. The other day when we were ranking, a couple episodes ago when we were ranking the consoles, and I was like, but it has Tetris, talking about the Game Boy and about how defining that game was. I don't think that game necessarily holds up to today's standard in the same sense. But what you get with this Tetris Forever is a collection of Tetris games from the Super Nintendo era and earlier. It's kind of boring. It's just Tetris in a lot of different form factors. I think the most important thing that they did in this was they included it's being shown on the screen right now. They include a Tetris Time Warp mode where you can compete against, I'm assuming, up to 3 friends. And be able to warp between different versions of Tetris throughout the years, and it changes your rule set for how you're playing at that very moment. But and I also really like the time capsule stuff that they show here, where it's like development information, so you can see like how they were designing the game, and a little bit of documentary about the history of Tetris. But if you really want to know, there's a movie with Taron Egerton in it that you can go and watch. So Tetris the movie, but and then they talked about Tetris for NSO coming this winter. No specific date, but will be coming out soon. And a Tetris 99 Maximus Cup for the 40th anniversary also coming out, which I think is funny because it would have been better if it could have been the 40th Maximus Cup too. But hey, it was counting. But I don't really have much else to say about that other than just, Tetris.
I'll keep an eye on it. I know my wife loves those kind of games, so it could be something we'll grab. I don't know. I don't know how worth it is to have Tetris in 8 different styles in one package.
Right.
We'll see how much it is.
I would anticipate that game honestly being a $29.99 price point. That's what I would expect. And I could be wrong, but that's what I would expect. It'd be nice if it was 20 or lower. And then
probably
do what?
30 or 40.
Oh man, don't do me like that. Don't
40
up
might
it to
be
40.
the physical edition, and then
if they pack something cool in it, I could see 40 being genuinely good. Because I paid 60 for the Nintendo World Championships game. I don't know that I would have done that again now that I've done it, but
hey, that's on you.
The next reveal was Star Ocean. My gosh, not Star Ocean. My apologies. Star Overdrive. This game was cool. When I was watching the teaser for it, and I mentioned this during the pre-show with you guys, I said I didn't think this game was running on Nintendo Switch. And then after rewatching this trailer like 4 or 5 times, like I'm like, oh wait, no, this is definitely running on Nintendo Switch. I can totally see it. The artifacting that's around some of the polygons on the edges, the way the frame rate is in the game, and some of the stylistic choices that they made to kind of keep it running really, really well. It kind of reminds me a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles from a technical perspective. But I don't know, like it looks really neat. This is probably my favorite thing that they talked about during the main portion of the show. That as much as I'm calling it the main portion, probably shouldn't because it was half and half, but during the partner showcase portion of the show. But I don't know. I'm excited for this. It kind of reminds me of Jet Set Radio, Jet Set Grind, in an open world environment with a sci-fi aesthetic, like a fantasy sci-fi aesthetic. That's coming out in 2025. Any thoughts, guys? Are you guys excited for that one or no? Pass?
I have Starlink for some reason. I don't know if that's very accurate, but I know that's maybe a very random thing to even think of. I forget it exists sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I mostly enjoyed that. I don't know if it's anything like that, but yeah, I think the big thing is just to see how it runs. See how it ends up in the end. But I think it looks pretty cool.
Nope. Chris tried to put me in a corner and asked me if I was saying that is the first Nintendo Switch 2 game being teased, and I was like, I'm not put my neck on the line saying that. Absolutely not. Oh man, I saw how people got ripped apart when they were saying Metroid Prime Beyond is not running on a regular Nintendo Switch; it's running on Switch 2. I'm like, no, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Ghost Simulator 3 out today. For $26.99 on sale right now. Regularly will be $29.99. Okay, so I have...
We've gone too far?
I have one specific memory of Goat Simulator. My wife and I, we got married, okay? We got married, of course. That's how you get a wife. But... we did our ceremony and everything. We got out super late. We weren't leaving for our honeymoon until the next day. So we go home, we take a shower, and then we get out of the shower, go sit down in the living room couch, and we were following a YouTuber at the time who was playing Goat Simulator, and we watched him play Goat Simulator for close to 4 or 5 hours. Ended up falling asleep on the couch. Did not consummate our marriage. Just fell asleep on the couch watching Goat Simulator. That's the only thing that I can like talk about with Goat Simulator that I like have any kind of fond memories over. It's just like that memory. But like I've never really loved these games. I don't know. They're just fine. They're just a big joke. You know.
It's fun for a little while. It's 3. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. So. They skipped Goat Simulator 2. And Percom Best is putting it in the live chat. They skipped 2 as a joke. So there's...
Oh, I thought maybe I just missed it.
No.
Okay.
There's Goat Simulator, and then they have like a reloaded version of this of this game that's getting ready to come out that they announced at Gamescom, I believe. And they're doing Goat Simulator 3, which is, I mean, it's all tongue in cheek, very, very satire.
It knows it's supposed to be stupid.
I like Tall Goat, which is the giraffe. I mean, that's my other spirit animal. So, Chris, any thoughts? No thoughts? Move on.
It looks like it's just dumb.
Yeah, it's stupid.
But
Goat Simulator, no thoughts. That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's stupid, whatever, like, go out and waste time video game.
Yeah.
The Worms Armageddon Anniversary Edition, I missed this trailer originally, mainly because it was in a sizzle reel. I didn't know it was in a sizzle reel at the time. But it did get confirmed that it is going to be coming out September 26th. I loved Worms Armageddon back in my high school days. Like, this was a ton of fun. And I want to love it now, but I don't think there's going to be enough people who would want to play with me to justify purchasing this, and playing against the AI is just zero fun.
Yeah, I'll play it with you.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll see if I can get us some codes, and then we can all play it together.
That'd be cool. We'll do it live on stream. It'd be good.
Yeah.
It'd be a good time. But they have a bonus 8-bit handheld version, which I think is the one that was, it's not 8-bit. It was the one for Game Boy Color, right? Like, it came out on Game Boy Color, I believe. Worms Armageddon did, didn't it?
Or maybe the Game Gear.
Hang on. Worms Armageddon console releases. Let's go Google's. It released on Dreamcast,
Color,
PlayStation, Game Boy Color, and Nintendo 64. So that is the Game Boy Color version that they're teasing in that trailer. So, which I mean is fine. It was a way less ideal version of that game to play, but I don't know.
Could have put it on NSL. We could all played it online that way.
Absolutely. That would have been sick. I would have 1000% supported it then. I don't know. Like, it's cool. Suze-ish. Absolutely knowing what's up with the Worms Armageddon in here. Holy Hand Grenade and all that jazz. Then we get into SpongeBob SquarePants Patrick Star game. Josh, this is one you want, right?
Gosh. Well, I don't know. I want it to be fun. I liked Battle for Bikini Bottom back on the GameCube. I think you said the same.
Yeah.
But I like the Switch remake mostly. And I like the was it
Cosmic Shake?
Gonna call it the wrong name. Cosmic Shake. Sorry, I almost said Cosmic Rewind. That's something completely different. But yeah, I like that mostly. So I know this is silly. I hope it's not really based around like the show. That's the Patrick show. If that makes sense.
Is the show bad? I haven't watched it. Or is that coming out still? I don't know if it's actually came out yet.
Goofy.
Yeah,
I think it did. Anyway, but no, I hope this is at least a good little fun 3D platformer. We will see. I'll see how it turns out. But I mean, it's a possibility for me.
This looks like Goat Simulator 3, but with a SpongeBob skin thrown over it. Is what it reminds me of in a lot of ways. Because they did describe it as a physics-based sandbox game. And I mean, I'm fine with that. I wouldn't mind not having objectives and just running around through Bikini Bottom. I mean, that's fun. Like, I've always liked SpongeBob well enough. But like, it's just it's not necessarily, that genre is not my favorite genre. Sandbox physics-based platformer or what have you. Like, I like to have more of a directed experience. Right. I want a real game. That's all I'm saying. Like, just give me a real game. I'll be happy with it.
That's all I got.
Fitness Boxing 3, Your Personal Trainer, launches December 5th. We're super stoked. It is the Guitar Hero for fists.
We don't need fitness.
No, nothing to say on this one. I don't think anybody here has anything they want to say. Capcom Fighting Collection 2. So this one comes out with quite a bit of stuff. Capcom vs. SNK Millennium Fight 2000 Pro, Capcom vs. SNK Mark of the Millennium 2001, Capcom Fighting Evolution, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper, Project Justice, and then the two things that I'm most excited for in this set, Power Stone and Power Stone 2, and Plasma Sword Nightmare of Bilstein are all packaged together in this, coming in 2025. There's two of these. Capcom needs to be stopped in some ways because they're just like re-releasing these games over and over and over and over and over again. But these are still good games. These are still good games, but I think there's a better one that we're getting ready to talk about that's right after this as well. But I think it's cool. Power Stone is making a comeback. I'm going to fast forward through the trailer here just to kind of show where that was teased here. If I can find it. I can't find it. It might have been earlier on. No, there it is, Power Stone, which was very, very, very cool. And I like the take on the arena fighter. The way they did that. So I do want to check it out exclusively for Power Stone. So any feelings on that, guys, before we go into the better version? Yes?
Power Stone. I'm just excited for Power Stone 1 and 2.
Thank you.
I will, plus the fact that it has online multiplayer. That's also nice.
Rollback netcode too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems like something to do.
Justice is another one I wanted to play, just because I don't think I've ever played it, and it's one that I wanted to play. I can't remember if I played it. I might have played it on a Vita somewhere with like an emulator or something. I can't remember. But yeah.
I think I played any of Project Justice. I don't think I've played that one at all. But I'm objectively bad at most Street Fighter games, just in general. Anything like that, I'm pretty bad at. You put me in Smash Bros. And I'll take you to town. But like if you like anything else, it's like I don't know. I too much comboing. I can't keep it going. So. But I'm excited for that Power Stone specifically. And then we go into Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. This has already been talked about, so we won't spend a whole lot of time on this, but I am excited for this just for the Marvel properties alone. I think it's really cool.
Exactly. I'm not great at these kind of fighting games, but I do have some fun with them on occasion with the right people. And the Marvel stuff looks cool. So
yep.
Some Capcom stuff I'm not super familiar with, but
I like watching people play Marvel vs. Capcom tournaments online, because I only aspire to be as good as they are. Because I mean, it's epic watching this game actually get dismantled by people who can actually play the thing. But I don't know. Like, I want to be good at it, but I'm not going to be. So if I have any other people who are bad at this game who want to come play with me, that'd be great.
All right.
And it's got online too as well, online multiplayer, just like the first Capcom Fighting Collection. And then we get into Atelier Yumiya, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land. This is out in 2025. This game looks bad. You can kind of see it in this trailer, but there is a ton of artifacting, and then the frame rate dips drastically in some of these areas. And this is like in-game gameplay. The cutscenes even seem to struggle just a little bit. You can kind of see the frame rate at which this is running. And then you get into this fire, and there's so many assets, it just looks bad. And I don't mean to diss it that much, but it's just like, it looks bad. It looks bad. That's all I gotta say on it. Josh is over there snoozing already. Wake up, Josh. Like, I know this is not your type of game, but oh man.
I'll get back to you after this.
Yeah, we just got the first Switch 2 game, right?
Oh no, and that's what it runs like? No. It's from Koei Tecmo too, so I mean, you take it how you want to. I will not be getting that one at all. Game that I did pop off for, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD. Anybody have any feelings on that before I dive in?
Yeah, Suikoden 1 and 2. Love Suikoden 1 and 2. I played through 100% both of them. I look forward to playing through them again. It's weird because nowadays I'll just skip through every single cutscene, but back, in middle school and high school, I played through like every single JRPG I could get my hands on.
You used all of your reading powers then. That was
I
it.
used all of it, yeah.
No more reading for Chris.
Yeah. I just skip them all.
Mm-hmm. I don't blame you. I will say this title is a mouthful. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster. Continued Gate, Rune, and the Dunnan Unification Wars. My gosh, there's a lot there to say. But I love this game. I loved the turn-based mechanics in it. I like the city building mechanics that they had going on in it too. I thought that was really cool. If I'm remembering right, this game had a pretty in-depth job system in it too, didn't it?
Yeah, well, like the different characters would have different jobs around the castle.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's beautiful. If you are a PlayStation 1 stan, I think it was PlayStation 1. It may have been 2. I can't fully remember.
Both of them are PS1.
PS1, if you're a PS1 stan, like, this is like music to your ears to get this. I hope it actually looks really, really, really good. But this is like one of the things that made me pop off. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake we already knew about. Not going to spend a whole lot of time here. That's November 14th. I think we've said it before in the last Nintendo Direct that we covered with this, because this game was featured before. You can play this game numerous other ways anywhere else. You don't have to get this version of it. This is a prettier version. But I feel like in some ways it's the Dragon Quest series milking it just a little bit more to get some more money out of the people. Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel?
Make sure you keep that same energy when we buy Mario 2 for the 50th time.
Oh, don't worry, I will. I will absolutely criticize that too. It's like one of those things where I was pretty frustrated with the 3D All-Stars bundle because they didn't make any improvements to Super Mario 64. I was like, you didn't make any improvements. Like, it could have been so much more than what it was.
Need to improve perfection, you know.
Oh, you hate Super Mario Sunshine and love 68. Get out of here. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia in one bundle in the Castlevania Dominus collection. It was out today. It launched for $24.99. Chris, you played it today. I saw you playing it on stream. How'd you feel about it?
Good. I like it. It's weird because it's, dual screen. These are all dual screen games. Like Dawn of Sorrow, you would fight the bosses, and then you had to draw different seals to capture the bosses, right? And here, what they did is each point of where it is, like it's like a quick time event, and you just got to push the buttons in the correct order to do it. So they got rid of that, but at the same time, you can still use the right analog stick to move the cursor around the touch screen. So it just doesn't make, I don't know what that's there for. There might be some things you need to do, but yeah, just these are fantastic games.
It looks, they are pretty. They are pretty, and I think a lot of people didn't end up playing these. I think a lot of people that were fans of the Castlevania series in general did not get the chance to play these, so it's cool to see a new option for people to be able to get this in a more modernized status. I like the way that they did the screen layout for everything. I like the way that they have the map screen on there and then the stats screen for the enemies that you're seeing or your character or what have you.
Yeah,
I think that's
completely
really
forgot to check out the Haunted Castle revisited. Because it reminds me of like the remake on, was it Rebirth on the Wii?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that.
I can totally see that. But I don't know, like it's cool. You can go pick it up, get it today. There's a lot of content there for that one too. Those are pretty good Castlevanias. Sid Meier's Civilization 7, we talked about this last week during the Gamescom announcement, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. Gwendolyn Christie was announced as the narrator for the game. If you know Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones, you'll recognize that name. Big lady. But overall, I mean, like it's more Civilization. Good game. Go check it out if you want to. Tales of Grace is F remastered. Josh is just not in it for this direct right now.
I'm reading.
It's more JRPG-ness. I don't have any feelings on this, but do you, Chris?
I just hope it performs well.
Yeah, you were pretty unhappy with another game.
Yeah, Tales of Symphonia. I at least at launch, but this is one I never got around to playing but I heard good things about it, so I'm looking forward to trying it out.
I'm with you. I like the Tales series. I really liked Tales of Symphonia back on the GameCube days when it originally launched. But I bought it on the Steam Deck on Steam. And I played it on my Steam Deck when it originally got the remake. And I mean, it ran fine. It was good. I didn't have any problems there. But at the same time, like those games, I don't know necessarily that those JRPGs hold up in quite the same way that my nostalgia glasses just kind of colored them as like really awesome. So I might have a harder time being really okay with another Tales game coming to Nintendo Switch. Just me personally.
Yeah, this is like the first. This is one. I guess the Wii U too, where like the Nintendo system didn't get a new game. They haven't released they had Tales of Arise and the DLC for that, but they're not releasing the Tales games as often as they were. Now they're just kind of remaking the old ones.
That's true. I did like Tales of Arise. It was a little grindy at the beginning though, where you're in like the prison area.
Oh yeah.
It was
got the mask.
Yeah, it was pretty good though. Well, I guess I need to go back and play more of that one. And then EA's Animal Crossing releases November 19th. My Sims Cozy Bundle. This was the next game that they came out with after Sims Herbs on DS.
Yeah.
But like, I think if you're a Sims fan, you're gonna like this one. It kind of reminds me of like the weird Lego Duplo characters way back in the day before Lego Duplo started doing like the new style that they're doing. Of minifigures that look like actual minifigures rather than having a different body style. But this game feels predatory. Like it's another one of those games. Well, the reason why is A, it's from EA, but also
that's a good point.
But also B, like they literally put cozy in the title. Like, what are they?
This came before Nintendo screwed them over, and EA got really mad at them. And they went out of their way they made a whole line of Wii games working with the Motion Plus. Like Madden, there was a tennis game, there was a golf game, I think a Wayne Gretzky hockey that came with a hockey stick. And then this was another one where they were like, the Wii is so popular, we can't ignore it, you know? So then this is what the result of that.
Do you think this is going to be packed with EA level microtransactions?
No.
Buy yourself some new apples with actual dollars.
No, because what they're going to do is they'll release this at $39.99, get everyone to buy it and enjoy it, and then when the Switch 2 comes out, they'll release another one or a free-to-play one, and then everyone can pay them then.
Yeah, that tracks. That's more of the history there. I agree with that. November 19th, get your cozy on. And then we've got Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 and Security Breach Ruin. What I will say is Help Wanted 2, I thought it was a VR game originally. I'm pretty sure it was a VR game originally. So I don't.
Yeah, but these games are so popular that they made all the VR games into non-VR versions so that they could release them, sell them to more people.
I don't feel like this game is going to be good outside of the VR version. That's just me. I feel like this game is much better played in the VR environment. But you know, hey, who am I to judge?
Get the Labo VR. Just put it in there and play it that way.
There we go.
The way it was meant to be.
I've got it. I'll have to dig out that big gigantic gun and everything made out of cardboard. But then they also the Security Breach Ruin.
That's just like DLC for a game that's already out.
Yeah, and like Security Breach itself did not run well. Like that game was originally, it came out. The first place I saw it out was PlayStation 5, and then that game did not run well on the PlayStation 5. and I can't imagine what it runs like on the Nintendo Switch. Like, I cannot
It walks,
imagine.
actually. It turns out it walks on the Switch.
Actually,
Yeah.
don't they show some gameplay from it here in this little teaser here?
Yeah.
Everything's blurry. Everything's real blurry. Like, real blurry. This looks worse than Fortnite on Nintendo Switch.
But, when you can barely tell when it's on the Switch Lite,
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh man, go get your Five Nights at Freddy's on this holiday 2024.
Yeah.
Another game that is gonna bore Josh to death: Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. Chris, take it away.
Yeah. It's farming. It's dungeon crawling. There's a lot of magic in this. It seems like that's the big twist, is people want to make farming games simulators, but they're trying to add twists. I think by 2028 we're going to get Nintendo to have their own like Mushroom Kingdom farming simulator.
They kind of did that with Palia, I guess, or what was the one game that came out that was Nintendo exclusive there for a little while? Can't remember what it was.
Well, Palia, yeah, but that came out on what's it called too?
Steam.
What was it? Steam, yeah.
what is that? Yeah, platform Switch and Microsoft Windows, but it was Switch exclusive for a timed exclusive, wasn't it? Yes.
The what?
It was a Switch
console?
exclusive.
Yeah.
No, wait, it wasn't. It launched on it's a console exclusive to Nintendo Switch, but is available on Windows. So it hasn't came to all the other platforms just yet. So that's probably why I was like mistaking that for Nintendo's farming simulator, what they were doing, because they were pushing that one pretty hard.
Yeah, but this I believe this is like, the Rune Factory games, playing them on the 3DS and the now. I mean, even on the first one on the Switch was just a remake or remaster of the 3DS version. I think it was Rune Factory 3.
I'm okay with that. I don't know. Like, this is the only like real farming simulator they teased this entire direct. I think they've learned from the previous ones where they had 14 in one direct at one time. Netta says in the live chat, Rune Factory's been doing farming sim with a twist for over a decade, though. But in Percon Bessa, this is the best take for a Nintendo farming simulator, but the twist is you play as Ridley and he's farming Metroids to destroy the Federation. I'm 1000% behind it. Let's do that. Nintendo, hire this man. Oh, man. And then they closed the show out with Yakuza Kiwami, which they're much better places to play this game. And I've said this a lot tonight. I've said this a lot last time. But there are better places to play some of these games, especially when you're looking at something in a partner direct where most of these games have came out on a different platform before. And one of the things, I can't remember who I was talking about this with. I think it might have been you, Chris, but it might have been both of you actually, is that I feel like it was in the main Discord. I feel like these specific kinds of directs are for people Partner Showcase Indie Worlds now are for people who do not have a PC to play on or a Steam Deck or another platform to play on. And those are the people that get excited for this stuff, right? Like, yeah, like you, Josh. I mean, and that's not saying like there's no judgment there, but it is like it is less exciting for someone who I have an Xbox Series X. I have a PC. That's how we run the show. I have a PlayStation 5. I have a Steam Deck. I have other options to play these games on and get the better experience. And it's really, really hard for me to get excited for Yakuza Kiwami coming to Nintendo Switch, but I really, really, really want to be happy for the people who are excited for this. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be happy for those people, but I'm like, man, I wasted 40 minutes of my life watching this when I could have been playing every one of these games on a different platform right now. Like, that's where I'm at with it. And that's the frustration I have with these kinds of directs where, and that's part of the reason I get so excited for a Nintendo Direct, not a partner showcase, but a Nintendo Direct, because I'm getting something that is exclusively made for my Nintendo Switch system most of the time. Most of the time, I'm getting something that hopefully will have a high tier level of gameplay, although Princess Peach Showtime, Mario vs. Donkey Kong has not necessarily shown that to me. No judgment there, but I'm going to be honest, that's C tier video games compared to Super Mario Odyssey or Metroid Prime Beyond. But Kiwami, you can play this anywhere else. This is a very good game. And if you can only play it on the Switch, go get this. But if you can play it anywhere else, I'd say play it anywhere else. October 24th, 2024. What about you, Chris?
Yeah.
What about you, Josh? How are you feeling?
Yeah. If I'm looking for, like, I want to play Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
The RPG. If that was coming, I think I'd be more excited. But I understand they start here. You got to start here and then work your way up. But I mean, it's going to be a while. So
Yeah.
What are we going to be? 2026? We finally get Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
On Switch 2.
No, it's still coming out on Nintendo Switch at that point.
Yeah.
Oh man. Josh, how are you feeling, man? Like, is this kind of in your same, like, do you feel very similar to me? I know you don't get as excited about these indie world showcases or partner presentations, but like, is this exciting for you to have the opportunity to play these games if you want to? Where you are an exclusive Switch?
It's cool that it's here. I never can really tell exactly what this game is for sure, but it does look pretty cool. I've vaguely seen bits and pieces of it before, but just in general, yeah. I mean, I like to have them there. I just don't find myself picking them up a whole lot, like the kind of games that started somewhere else, like Xbox or PlayStation, and came over, because I feel like I already know that they're not going to run as well, or they're going to take up half my hard drive space.
Yeah.
And I end up catching myself just not. There's kind of a reason, like, I don't know about it goes beyond that. It goes a little bit into cost and time and things, but there's a big reason though that my first priority is Nintendo consoles, is I like the Nintendo games.
Yeah.
And that stuff takes up so much of my time already as it is. There's a lot to play out there.
Right.
So I like that they're there. I don't always end up picking them up though.
No, I'm with you. No, that's just kind of, maybe that's me ranting a little bit more than I probably should about these things, because like I said, I want to be happy for the people that are getting this stuff that would not have the opportunity to play it otherwise. But I just look at this direct, this half of the direct, because mind you, the indie world, I rated it like a B-, maybe a solid B. This half of the direct gets a D+ from me because of the content that is here. There is Suikoden, there is Star Overdrive, and that's the only two things that were new to me that I didn't know were coming. But then you do push in there with Marvel vs. Capcom, and I'm excited for that. But that's like it. That's like it from this half of this showing. So I don't know. And maybe I'm being harsh on it, but that's where I think it affected me the most in terms of what I would rate this direct, and why I felt like I walked away from it feeling a little bit meh about it overall, is that I wasn't super excited about the back half of the show at all.
I think I agree with that. Honestly, if anything, not much higher. I mean, I feel like I've got a little more interest maybe in like the Tetris Forever, just in case it could be something that works out for us pretty well.
Yeah.
There's a few little things like that. I kind of would hope the Patrick thing's good. I don't know. It's a little silly, but I don't know. There's not a whole lot. And like you said, a lot of things we already kind of knew about. So yeah,
absolutely.
That's kind of where I'm at on it.
Absolutely. No, I'm with you. What about you, Chris? How are you feeling?
Yeah. I would probably give it a C, just because I am higher on Dragon Quest than you two seem to be.
Yeah.
And I Suikoden 1 and 2, like you said, and then I really like those Castlevania games. Some of my favorite, you know.
They're good.
These do look cool.
They're good, and I'm with you. They're good. They just didn't excite me. You know what I mean?
No, it was run of the mill. But yeah,
I thought you said no. I don't know what you mean. Whenever I said they don't excite me, you know what I mean? You're like, no,
yeah,
no, I don't get it. I was really excited. I don't understand you, Cody.
Yeah. No, yeah, I understand.
Well, that's the directs in a nutshell. It's I think our thumbnail kind of sums it up, bruh. What? I think our thumbnail is gonna kind of sum that up. As far as that goes, there are only 2 new games that are coming out this week that we really want to talk about outside of this, and one of those is Zimio: The Smiling Man Famicom Detective Club. It is launching on Thursday for $49.99, and that is August 29th, Thursday. The final chapter, because they released the first 3 chapters, and all that progress carries over. So you'll be able to play the first 3 chapters of that game, and that is out right now. The demo for that is out right now. And then Gundam Breaker 4 on August 29th as well, $59.99, although I think your money might be better spent playing Zimio: The Smiling Man for the time being. So, but that pretty much wraps up the show, fellas. That wraps up the show. Chris, where can they find you, my friend?
You can find me Super Nintendo on pretty much everything. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
And what about you, Josh?
About the same. I'm Whopper744 in most places, and at X Twitter, that thing, I'm at Whopper744 Games because the other one was taken. So,
Oh man,
me. It's a long story, but yeah.
absolutely. And you can find me at Nerdwire Plays. I play most nightly at twitch.tv/Nerdwire Plays. I'm going to be playing through the first 3 chapters of Zimio: The Smiling Man tomorrow night over on my channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So swing by, check it out if you're curious about the game. I am going to be going through the demo that's available. And then also, you can catch me on all the social media platforms. Same place, Nerdwire Plays, everywhere. You can catch all our past episodes. Well, most of our past episodes. I'm behind on uploading. Chris had to take a break, and then I didn't get in the swing of things yet. So I'm going to get the episodes uploaded again. But you can find them at youtube.com/@the Nintendo Rewind. Visit our site to decide whether or not you want to see any of our social media pages. At NintendoRewind.com. You can catch all of our social media stuff over there, as well as have an opportunity to be able to support the show directly over there as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, you can catch our live tapings of the Nintendo Rewind podcast right here every Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/the Nintendo Rewind. Thanks so much for watching. We love your faces, and we'll catch you on Flip Time. Peace.
Bye-bye.